All right, what's going on, guys? So wanted to quickly comment on some news, give you guys some reactions and some thoughts. Recently, the Prime Minister Boris Johnson of the UK announced that for England, they're going to stop vaccine passports, mask mandates, and work restrictions. And so it's exciting news for many people that are following it, but it opens up a lot of different questions and a lot of different doors, right? And so there's that, and there's many other new, COVID-related news. There's the ongoing discussion of natural immunity, of this being, wiped out in a matter of months. The continued legal kind of battles state to state. Recently in Michigan, this restaurant, Iron Pig, won against the fines. They were, to pay $5,000 in fines because they opened and defied the governor's orders. But then the Supreme Court found that that was unconstitutional, that the legislative powers couldn't be extended to the executive. And so they struck that down. The restaurant won. And so many of these different types of news is coming out, small victories and small things. And so why do I talk about this? Because it's a great example, a microcosm of what's going on in the world right now with regards to having a relationship with Christ that I've always talked about, having discernment and understanding and faith and trust in hearing from the Lord, as opposed to being tossed and turned in fear and in anxiety, your decisions, and all these different things. And when certain things happen, you just throw in the towel and say, oh, I guess it's going to be like this forever, right? So a lot of people that are fighting. And again, I'm not here to argue science and all this stuff. I'm coming from a faith perspective. A lot of people, they were anxious and fear, and then they, were succumbed to getting the vaccine or doing these different things and adhering to sort of these mandates and all these different things, thinking that, oh, it's too late. But a lot of people, restaurants like Iron Pig, and many people, especially in England, the protesters, they rose up and said, this is not right. This is not constitutional, in that you can't limit our freedoms. Now, the argument goes for if it's actually some catastrophic event, what do you do? But again, we're in a time, like I've said, where there's an information war. What is actually true is, they said a long time ago, oh, natural immunity, there's none of that, or it's not as effective as COVID vaccines and stuff like that. Now, new studies are coming out saying how much more potent it is, especially against Omicron, and many different things, therapeutics, more and more studies about, or people talking about, claiming for therapeutics, even, ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, many different things, right? And don't even get me started with the children and their natural immunity. Many, many things are coming to light after the fact. But in the beginning, narratives, different things were being pushed, and then people had no choice out of fear, out of just the mass amount of experts, or what are quote unquote experts, people, the whole world doing something and then following the crowd. So it's a microcosm of saying, man, should I have listened to this person or that person from the very get-go? Should I have done something in my own, walk with the Lord, asking him for discernment? And again, I'm not here to say you made a wrong choice if you did this, if you, adhere to the rules, if you weren't like this restaurant, if you got the vaccine or whatnot. But it clearly shows when you were tossed and turned, you had fear, you had anxiety, you thought, oh, this is going to be, happening forever. And yet England, they passed and they turned the Michigan Supreme Court. They turned it around, and many things, the small wins are coming to light, right? And so I've always said that this is just a small thing, a pestilence that will, this too shall pass. And this is what I've been saying from the very get-go. A lot of people, they're going to, and I wouldn't doubt that there's some people for the rest of their life, they're just going to wear a mask everywhere they go. They're going to just want to get the next vaccine, the next medicine, because they're in this state of thinking what the media and with all these people are telling you, but they don't want to change their perspective on the quote unquote science or the truth that comes out once it's revealed, right? They just want to believe what they want to believe. And so we're in this state, right, of you were told something, you believe it, you take it, you think it's truth, you run with it, and then only to find out that it could be different, it could be wrong, it could be not what you thought it was for your case, for your situation, and then you just held on to it. Or you were humbled and you said, okay, well, I guess I'm open to the idea that this doesn't work or that doesn't work or there's some alternative that's better, right? And so we're living in a world right now where if you're a Christian, and you listen to this person, that person, and then you just kind of get confused. If you weren't listening to the Lord and you weren't rooted in him from the very get-go, you wouldn't have had peace. You would have been anxious. You would have been fearful. You would have succumbed to all the different mandates and different things and restrictions that people told you. And other people that have had a foundation and a root, they just rode right through it, right? So I've always said, man, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna do these different things, I'm gonna go work out, I'm gonna go do what I want to. I don't want to say what I want to do, but I want to not be restricted, constrained to my house and to these different things. I don't want to abide by things, especially when in my spirit, I believe that the Lord can protect me. My God-given body with natural immunity can fight it. And if the Lord wants, and this is coming from a faith perspective, if the Lord wants to get me, coronavirus, fine. If not, then I'm going to believe that he would protect me, right? And I'm not against modern medicine. I'm not against these things. But when something gets pushed, when something just comes out like that, and then new studies come out of its efficacy and it being a lower, especially with Omicron, studies are showing it's a lower efficacy, right? And so it's kind of like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to believe? And so if you were in a position from the very get-go to be praying, to be seeking the Lord, you wouldn't be flustered, you wouldn't be upset, you wouldn't be angry, you wouldn't be surprised by all these different changes and everything that's coming to light. And so this victory for the citizens of England, there's victory for restaurants, there's victory for many other people. It's a sign of it turning, of things. If you persevered, if you stood with righteousness for the Lord, then you got the victory and you're reaping the benefits of that. And so I'm here to say, guys, whether or not you believe what they say, that's the first fundamental thing. I've always said, pray about it. What is true? Is this actually the reality that we live in? Is it this bad? Is it so bad that I've got to think that I've got to take, what they tell me to take, right? Or is there something else behind the scenes, right? For which everybody writes off as, oh no, that's conspiracy. Oh no, don't believe that. Don't believe those doctors that are quack. But I'm here for the truth. I want the truth as much as anybody wants the truth. But you can't be in a state of being tossed and turned, believing somebody just because they have a title, believing somebody just because mass majority of people say it, but rather you have to have had a foundation in the Lord. And this, guys, has woken up a lot of people. It's shaken people and it's gotten people to get closer to the Lord. If anything, I'm here to say, man, if you were affected by all of this, you lost your business, you lost even loved ones, right? If you went through that, hardship, if you were in this predicament of work, getting fired, and all these different, work restrictions and stuff, putting on a mask and going out there being rejected because you don't have a passport, all these different things. And this is applicable not only to the US, but the whole world. Everyone's going through it. So that's why it's such a good example to teach you, to wake you up and to say, man, I need to have something deeper than me listening to the world, me being tossed and turned and whatnot, but rather because this is waking you up, because it's shaking you, because it's allowing you to question reality and truth and how to discern information. If something is being said by the mainstream media, if it's being said by all these people supposedly, why don't you just take a second to breathe, step back and say, man, Lord, is this true? Or is there new information that's going to come to light in the future for which there's a differing opinion, right? And so let the dust settle. Guys, pray, get right with him. This is a time right now because you're being shaken. A lot of people, they stood firm. They said, I'm going to leave my church open. I'm going to continue to allow customers to come to my restaurant, to my business or whatever it is. And they were rewarded. And you had all these seeds being planted. But a lot of people, they closed down, they succumbed, they did all this. And again, I'm not here to be like, oh, do illegal stuff. But in your discernment of what's right, what's wrong, and what imposes on your freedom, and all these different things, and questioning the legitimacy, the science, and all these different things, and how severe it is. Are people dropping dead? Half the population is dying, right? The recovery rate, arguably 99 or whatever percent, whatever it is, right? And again, I'm not here, don't be married to the numbers I'm saying, right? The point I'm saying here is there's something deeper, there's something bigger, and you have to be in a position for which you're saying, man, what's right? Between me and the Lord, what was right? And again, I'm here to encourage people. There's more to come. There's more exposure. Truth comes to light, right? The good, if you pray for it, if you fight for it, if you are on the side of righteousness, then you will prevail, especially in this season. Because I've said many times that this is only a small pestilence that will come and go, right? And there's other times, again, guys, in the tribulation, long time later, there's going to be stuff where, okay, it's going to be difficult. But right now, we're not in a season for which the devil will take hold, that evil will reign, and all these different things. It's just a small sort of test run that the devil wants to do, but he's not going to get the victory. And so, guys, I'm here to encourage you. I'm here to say, stand firm, continue fighting, and it's going to, for many other countries, right, it's going to pass, right? And so, again, once the Omicron and other things, other science, other stuff come to light, more studies, more people, even the mainstream media, they're going to agree and they're going to see, okay, these studies, these facts or whatever, it is what it is, and that's going to come to light. And I believe that, and it's a small test, or it's a small microcosm, right, of the bigger picture of who you are between you and the Lord, your relationship, your shaking, your perseverance, your steadfastness, your righteousness, your prayer, and you fighting for the good, right? And so again, guys, want to encourage you guys. A lot of good things happening, guys. I'm excited. More to come, but I'll talk to you guys very soon. God bless.